The morning city skyline stretches softly under the first light of dawn, and the quiet hum of urban life begins. But even in this tranquil setting, the story of money's invisible limits quietly unfolds, revealing a reality few pause to consider. Imagine earning more each year, yet never feeling richer, as the familiar sense of financial pressure lingers despite careful planning and disciplined effort. And somewhere along the way there exists a threshold where money ceases to multiply in the ways we expect, a subtle barrier that the vast majority of earners cross without realizing, leaving them trapped in the delicate balance between income and perceived freedom. At first glance, the solution appears simple: earn more, spend wisely, invest strategically. Yet there is an unseen structural truth embedded in the way money interacts not only with the mechanics of the economy but with the very wiring of human behavior, revealing that additional income alone does not guarantee a proportionate increase in life satisfaction or personal freedom. Visualizing this, a simple graph of rising income juxtaposed with a flattening curve of perceived wealth illustrates the core concept, where the tangible accumulation of money fails to produce the expected psychological or practical benefits, and the experience of wealth begins to plateau even as earnings continue their upward trajectory. This phenomenon, known to economists and behavioral scientists as the diminishing returns threshold, describes the point at which each extra dollar contributes progressively less to lifestyle improvements, security, and emotional contentment, a subtle reality that becomes evident as individuals invest in larger homes, luxury vehicles, or premium services, only to find that the initial sense of reward gradually fades, leaving them in a perpetual state of adaptation where yesterday's luxuries are today's necessities. The psychological mechanism behind this is rooted in hedonic adaptation, where the brain recalibrates in response to new levels of comfort or abundance, creating a baseline that shifts alongside each upgrade and subtly diminishing the joy derived from additional wealth, illustrating how the pursuit of more can paradoxically result in a sense of stagnation or incompleteness despite financial progress. When examined mathematically, the threshold becomes even clearer, as the utility gained from incremental income increases dramatically at lower levels but flattens sharply at higher tiers, revealing that moving from an annual income of $100,000 to $150,000 may yield a significant increase in life satisfaction. Yet the jump from $1 million to $1,050,000 produces barely any perceptible improvement, a concept reflected in a utility curve that visually communicates the diminishing psychological return on financial growth. Overlaying this with the structural realities of taxes, lifestyle inflation, and social obligations demonstrates how systemic forces absorb much of the additional income, converting what appears to be financial progress into maintenance of existing status, as larger mortgages, educational costs, healthcare premiums, and subtle social pressures quietly expand alongside earnings, eroding the perceived benefits of greater wealth and reinforcing the plateau effect. Zooming out to a macroeconomic perspective, the pattern is not unique to individuals but is embedded in the structure of entire economies, where rising costs of living, inflationary pressures, and cyclical market behaviors systematically limit the capacity of income to generate proportional increases in autonomy or comfort. And visualizing the flow of money as a funnel emphasizes how income, once earned, is rapidly redirected toward obligations and consumption, leaving little room for the transformative potential that higher earnings might promise, and highlighting the importance of understanding the threshold as a critical insight rather than a failure of personal strategy. Recognizing this threshold invites a shift in perspective, where financial decisions are informed not solely by the pursuit of higher earnings but by the deliberate management of systems, investments, and expenditures that maximize psychological and practical returns, allowing money to work efficiently rather than endlessly chasing its own accumulation, and creating a mental framework in which personal satisfaction, freedom, and stability are measured not by the nominal size of a paycheck but by the control and clarity gained in navigating the economic landscape. In this context, wealth becomes less about the relentless pursuit of more and more about the conscious alignment of resources with values, emphasizing leverage, efficiency, and intentionality, and offering a path toward contentment that exists beyond the constraints of linear financial growth. Ultimately, the threshold where money stops working effectively is not a limitation imposed by circumstance, but an invitation to cultivate awareness, to examine the interplay of earnings, obligations, and perception, and to design a life in which financial tools serve human priorities rather than dictate them, reminding us that the pursuit of wealth is most powerful when guided by insight rather than impulse, and that understanding the subtle dynamics of diminishing returns transforms how we relate to money, allowing freedom, stability, and fulfillment to emerge naturally from informed choices rather than the relentless accumulation of dollars. In learning to recognize this boundary, the journey of money becomes an exercise in clarity and control, a conscious navigation of the systems that govern our financial experience, and a recognition that true wealth is measured not by the endless pursuit of more but by the thoughtful orchestration of resources to serve both life and mind, offering a calm and sustainable path through the complex interplay of economy and psychology.